Alright. That's a decent start. It's okay. Hive Mind, Levity, and 2 for 1. I don't know how Hive Mind is really going to be helping us here. Umbra and Melting Remnant. How's it really going to help us here? Winged Steel is one of the cards that has been changed. One of the relics, rather, that's been changed. An artifact, rather, that's been changed in the very recent set of balance changes that were shipped with the Wild Mutations free update. When you play your third card of the turn, draw 1. As sad as I am to see the old Winged Steel go, it desperately needed to happen. It was so good. It was way too good. Which of these should we go for? Because people are going to be skipping the second floor, right? So maybe they'll be going to the pyre a little more commonly. Maybe I should give them 15. Would normal units count as morsels? I imagine not. I was thinking about that as well, but I imagine not, because otherwise they would be automatically eaten, because I think the morsel tag defines that you get automatically eaten by the front non-morsel unit at the end of the turn. But I guess if everyone was morsels, it wouldn't really do it. Huh. I don't know. Alright. I might actually go for the Boons of the Blacksmith here. I might, but I won't. Let's upgrade the champion. Wasn't Winged Steel originally play 3, draw 3? I think it was, but I think it was that for like half a week that I saw before it got changed to draw 2. Okay. Penumbra with Trample, the Monstrous Penumbra, or the Architect Penumbra? How are we really going to want to go with this? Okay, so our second is Melting Remnant. So if we go for an Architect Penumbra, what we're using that as is a backliner, right? They'll be standing behind our frontline tank, and our frontline tank is either going to be a Gorger, if it's from the Umbra class, or it's going to be from the Melting Remnant class, and it'll be... Maybe it would be like a Harvest Baron? The Wickless Baron or something like that. But now there's actually another change that is relevant specifically in this clan combination, which is that morsel units no longer trigger on death abilities, so they no longer trigger Harvest, right? Because otherwise, Harvest was effectively Mega Gorge, specifically in this combination of these two classes. Alright. Yeah, I'll take Penumbra. I'll take the backliner. Let's see what we can do with that. Because, like, I'm thinking about backliners in both of these classes, in Melting Remnant and Umbra, and I'm seeing, like, you know, Morsel Master, but it's real weak. Morsels still trigger Harvest, just not when eaten. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the Morsel being eaten property is changed to not being a death trigger, rather than Morsel's deaths not being treated as a death trigger. That's a really good point there, Ampy. Amphi, rather. Can Morsel still be reformed? I don't know. I imagine so. I'm not entirely certain. Let's see if we can find that out in this run. Did I say Penumbra over Penumbra? Oh god. I've been trying not to do that this whole time, and I just keep doing it. You said Penumbra over Penumbra, what a classic. At this point, I'm not trying to do it. I've not been trying to do it for months. Alright, non-boss enemy units gain +4, unit draft out of this as well. We're actually going to have a little bit of difficulty doing this, to be entirely honest with you. We may have to use, like, Shade Splitters as sack units in front of the Penumbra or something like that. Things that affect waxes like Energy Boon and HB now affect everyone. Energy Boon and HB. Do you mean tombs, not waxes? Because tombs are a different type to waxes, and those are the ones that have the Energy Boon and HP relic artifacts, sorry. Okay. I don't love the idea of taking this, to be entirely honest with you. Votive Key is now everyone? Yeah. Votive Key is every unit. It's gonna be wild. That is gonna be the basis for some really nutty daily runs. I'm calling it now. Okay. I want a unit early so that I can start defining my build really quickly. Yeah, tombs my bad. That's fine. Knew what you meant. Oh god, they're gonna be... They have haste. Well, we're taking a trip on the Yikes Town Express right now. This is going to be a bad time, y'all. This is going to be a discomfortable time. Wait, what are the modifiers? I was a bit late. It is Hive Mind. Friendly units count as all subtypes. There's also Levity. Enemy units get haste, so they just skip the second floor. Also, the Collector is apparently going to skip the second floor and go straight to the pyre. I imagine that's not going to happen, but it would be interesting if it had. 2 for 1. Also, whenever you draft a card, gain a second copy. So I'm very, very keen on getting as many different cards that I get to look at with that. Let's pop a Train Steward in front here, because that'll take 2 hits. Perfect, so I lose no HP on this Dreg in the backline, nor this Penumbra, and I get to remove 2 units from the field. I'm also not playing an Ascension, Covenant 10. So I'm going to be dropping the Dreg down as well, because it's not days, so I'll actually get to remove most of them. And throw one of these down here. Do I want a Prism Retrieval anything? There's 0 available to draw from it. So yes. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's not that great, right? Haste just reads that it goes from floor 1 to floor 3, not that it skips a floor. Moves directly from the first floor to the third floor. Okay, that makes sense, because how would you get a haste unit onto the second floor? I guess you could ascend them. Interesting. But yeah, it's good that it reads that specifically, because yeah, otherwise you would be throwing people directly into the pyre occasionally, accidentally. I imagine from like a descend or an ascend from either the bottom or the top floor. Let's drop a Train Steward in this line, and then just Prism Retrieval to get it out of the deck. Alright, let's double sack these 2 morsels. Yeah, and we get everyone except the backliner again. I'm comfy with that. It is worth noting, the bosses appear to also be affected by levity. So I really need like a 2 killing floor strategy kind of thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is not looking good for us already. Wait, you're not gonna... Are you gonna burn out before the morsels go off? Please tell me you burn out before the morsels go off. It did not. Okay, bad start to the daily. I'll give you that much. Extremely bad start to the daily. But we get a lot of looks at cards, and that could be pretty important. Double packed morsels. I could take a double packed morsels. Set up a gorge floor and a kill floor. Seems good to me. Double molded. Okay. You gotta go with that. And I mean, look, that's an Overgorger, and we just took 2 packed morsels. But we don't want 2 Overgorgers is the thing. Do we do it? Do we just take 2 of them and then trash one? Because we can't afford to build 2 of them. They're not a good frontlining unit is the thing, right? So like, where's the Penumbra going? And behind what is the Penumbra going? Let's have a look at the map. We've got the Merchant of Steel has another Umbra Banner there. So if we can find a Gorger there that can stand in front of the Penumbra, so Shadow Eater, Crucible Collector, Crucible Warden, maybe? Probably Collector. Okay, let's try this. Let's try it. Especially where we're playing in Covenant rank 1, we've got a lot more money to get the upgrades that I really want on that unit. That's not what I'm looking for, though. Like, none of these are frontline. Oh, yikes. Alright. Well, what we could do is we could get a Morsel Maker, double Morsel Maker, in fact, and then just put them behind Overgorgers. Which Crucible is which? I'm pretty sure the Crucible Collector is the lifesteal and the Warden is the damage shield. I might have that wrong, though. I do just tend to think of them as the Crucible minions in a pair. You can put one on the mid-floor to safely feed it and then ascend it when needed. But we don't have any Ascends, is the thing. Ascend is a unique keyword for, like, 2 non-class, 2 clanless, 1 clanless, I think. And then it's a unique keyword specifically for Hellhorned other than that. Is it just the American in me getting the better of me, or is Crucible wrong versus Crucible? Crucible versus Crucible. This one has been had out many, many times. My direction for it is that I have heard it said that way almost my entire life, and also it fits the same phoneme structure as the word crucial, which no one says crucial. You could morsel make an Overgorger on floors 2 and 3 and build up for the end and have your first floor be your traditional floor. The thing is, my first floor is not my traditional floor yet. Like, my first floor is a garbage floor right now. I have no tank for my first floor. I'm really worried that I can't take either of these. I think I can. Or descend it with Waxfall or Cave-In. Yeah. Dripfall, but yeah, we'll probably end up doing something like that. Well, there's the multi-strike. That goes on the Overgorger, despite the fact that the Overgorger has nothing. Wait, you don't say crucial as crucial? Please, is that actually... Don't, you can't tell me that's... Like, no one says it that way, right? Right? The thing is, the Heartstone is actually also really good on the Overgorger for being able to give it the ability to tank. Hi, Raps here from YouTube. Hi from YouTube. How's it going, Dogboat? It's just a joke. Oh, see, I can't tell because to me, that was the same kind of feeling as when I said Crucible and everyone was like, wait, isn't it Crucible? Which, you know, there's no universal correct way to pronounce that. I think we will go with multi-strike on the Overgorger, and I think we also will go with Heartstone. I think we need a tank. I think this might have to be it for the moment. No, the counter example is unfortunately Crucifix. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's a C rather than an SH right there. Crucible. Yeah, look, if I can't pronounce a word, I'll just make it incessantly cute. Oh, the Crucible Warden. Unfortunately, we did not get a Crucible Warden. Just baby speech my entire way through it. 10 armor on the enemies. Like, I want the unit draft. Is the, like... Do I just do it for the unit draft? I think so. I mean, English language doobie jank. Yeah, just, went down a back alley and robbed all of the other languages for their best features, effectively. Okay, so this is the bad Overgorger, unfortunately. Alright. So what are we gonna do then? Because we are gonna have to be pretty clever about how we set up all this. Penumbra on the top floor without the Overgorger, and then we put the second Overgorger, like we put the, because we'll draw the other Overgorger next turn, right? So we put this Overgorger here, we put the Penumbra on the top floor, and then we shade split just for a unit. Although we should do all of it except for the Overgorger first, just in case we draw the other Overgorger and need the energy to play that. Yeah, it just took the purse that looked nice but was full of nothing but lipsticks and receipts. That works too. Think we got some of the worst features as well. Oh, almost certainly. The amount of edge cases that exist in the English language. Are you familiar with the inherent ordering of adjectives? This one is one of the ones that blew my mind. That people tend to know the order in which adjectives should go before a word, and it feels innately wrong when they aren't in the right order, but there's no universal rule that we all know for this, right? Like, big green dog. Great. Green big dog. What? What did you just... No, it's big green dog, and you know it. Like, there's an order, and there's a hierarchy in particular that was talking about, like, size modifier, color modifier, and then there's, like, you know, temperament modifier, and just, like, all of these things in an order that just are inherently aware, like, people are inherently aware of. Absolutely mind-blowing. That one, shade split, Tumbra, get that Tumbra. I'm gonna need more space on the top floor before I can start popping down dregs there, I think. I also don't really think I can pop down dregs anyway. I'll just do this. Alright. So it does look like, yeah, it does look like I can still pull back morsels. Advice column. Number 1 is opinion, what you think about something. Beautiful, expensive, easy, delicious. Second is size, then age, then shape, then color, then origin, then material. And if they're not in that order, almost universally people will understand, wait a second, that order's wrong, without knowing the inherent hierarchy or rule behind it. So PEMDAS for adjectives. Pretty much. Pretty much. A silk blue Japanese kimono. What? No, the material must go at the end. All right. Yeah, we're gonna be taking some damage to this, but look, this build is gonna be all about building up. Like, it's gonna ramp up to a point. And until that point, woo, we're gonna take damage. Osacom. No idea why it isn't more popular. It's probably just, frankly, too many acronyms to have to remember. Okay. Okay, so we'll definitely be fine here. And you can also even get a little bit of munch on. Alright, life's good. Yeah. Good, good, good. Unfortunately, the High Priestess to the Light, sorry, High Priest to the Light, rather, is definitely going to destroy my minions before they can actually get eaten, so it really doesn't matter. Just get Advanced Prototype to win. I did see the changes to Advanced Prototype. I'm very, very interested to get that as one of my starting 2 relics now, because I really want to actually build a run around it. I tried it before with the old Advanced Prototype, but now, now though, that might be enough. We make trash morsels is our thing. We make trash morsels because we don't really care about whether or not they're good. We just care about whether or not they get eaten. So I don't think we'll be making them morsels. In fact, we might just take the money again. Okay, we have 2 moldeds in the deck. This is the exact position where I want to draft. In fact, 2 drafts. There's the Crucible Warden. Hive Mind means everyone gets the buffs from Advanced Prototype. Because they multi-class like Construct and Steward now, don't they? So everything with the Steward type and then everything would get it? Is the difference +5/+5? I thought it was. Is it not? +5/+5 when you then still get your 2 different modifiers on top of it. That is to say your 2 different gems that you can socket or the enhancements. That's serious. 5/5 means a lot. Let's have a look at these though. I think we have to go with the Crucible Warden. And then we'll just remove one of them. I can't just stay here and constantly wait for the Crucible Collector. And I was right, the Crucible Warden is the damage shield and the Collector is the other one. Okay. Alright, Merchant of Steel, what do you got? Who gets multi-strike now? I could see an argument for Draft, Crucible Warden, or the Overgorger. What are the modifiers? Just got here. We have Hive Mind as one of the new modifiers from the Wild Mutations free update that we are currently celebrating. Friendly units count as all subtypes. Then we have Levity, enemy units get haste, as well as 2 for 1 each time you draft a card, gain a 2nd copy. It also works with things like Gurd's Goad, Encased Ember. Like, Encased Ember, I was thinking about before, for someone mentioned it previously, but Gurd's Goad, I was not thinking about yet. Oh god, that is ridiculous. Gurd's Goad is demon units have multi-strike. Just giving multi-strike to every unit in the game is pretty wild. I don't know. I don't know. We could go for a multi-strike on the extra Overgorger. In fact, we could make the second Overgorger the same as the first one, but we could also go for a Frenzy Stone on a draft and then give it a Wick Stone, and then the idea is that we reform it once in the fight, but it pumps out ridiculous damage. Overgorger scales better with multi-strike. It does, but also we're going to be scaling in the fight with the drafts and molded. And, you know, we don't have as many backlining units as we have frontlining units. The multi-strike gods have blessed you this round? Oh, 100%. I could not be more thankful to the gods. Much appreciated. And then there's also the argument of Crucible Warden, because Crucible Warden is going to be on the bottom floor and is going to be doing a lot of the, you know, kind of tanking. That's probably the weakest argument for it, right? How about we Heartstone one of the Crucible Wardens? And then I think I actually will go with the multi-strike on the draft. I think we need the... So, the problem we were having before is that the Overgorger is going to scale up and eventually become very good at killing enemies. But right now, we need something that's good now. And that's going to be the draft. If you dupe cards, you get 2 copies or 1. It's only the drafts that you get a second copy of. Draft T, not draft as in the unit I just put in the deck. Okay, this is really good. The only thing we're not going for here is Frozen Nostalgia. We could go for History of Worlds, or we could go for Railforge's Hammer. Because we're, like, doing a Gorge floor on bottom floor, and a Gorge floor on the top, we have a lot of Gorges. We need more morsels. I'm gonna go for the Railforge's Hammer, but we need, like, another packed morsel, or... maybe some of the artifacts that generate morsels in your turn either generate, you know, 2 common, common or uncommon? Or is it common or rare? I think it's common or uncommon when you kill your first enemy during your turn, or the just generate a common or uncommon morsel at the start of your turn. Both of those would be really good. Sorry to see that you rested in peace right here, Maxwell. I'm hoping I don't mean the same fate. Advanced Prototype would mean everything gets multi-strike, damage shield 2, and +5/+5. Alright, can we get that, please? I would very much like that. I gambled on this one and it boosted my middle floor. It boosted? Uh-oh. Oh, use the previous one, the book, The History of the World. I see, I see. Right. Umbra. Gorger. Splitter. And then I think I'm going to save 10 health on the Gorger with a Rubble Morsel here. So I think we're at the point that we're just feeding the Overgorger and ignoring almost every other floor now. I don't like it, but that's just, it seems to be where we are. I don't like how I'm going in this fight right now. I do not like anything that I'm currently doing. I'm just doing them because they're the best things at the moment. The best mutator they added was trigger abilities trigger twice. That's gonna get real nutty. Oh, double rejuvenate triggers. Alright. Pack some morsels. Another magma out there as well. Yeah, Shade Splitter. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a morsel excavator. So, excuse me, so that I can start getting lifesteal on the Overgorger so that it can't start healing itself back up. And then I have the 2 Moldeds in the deck that are both going to be helpful for getting back the same morsel excavator. So it's really important that one of the morsel makers, the packed morsels, yeah, it's really important one of the packed morsels gives me a excavator at some point. Save 4 damage with a drag in the front line there. Love it. Haste is a buff, right? I need to know for reasons. No. The green ones are buffs. Those are like abilities or enhancements. Does Daedalus have haste? Yeah, everyone has haste. So Daedalus is gonna go be like straight over the second floor, which is why I'm not really doing anything there. All right. Let's start getting more of the... Do I want more lifesteal or do I want a morsel miner? Because I'm about to heal back up to full health, and a morsel miner is like +5/+5. And +5/+5 is... I mean, that's +5/+5 right there. Speaks for itself. Nice. All right. Let's get another... Well, actually, you know what? No, this one I will go for the lifesteal because I'm about to take 10 damage. Maybe I only need the Overgorger. It is looking a lot at this point like I only really need the Overgorger, and the second Overgorger, both of the drafts and both of the Crucible Wardens are excess to requirements right now. So the only thing I know that I don't need right... A bottom floor killed? The only thing I know that I don't need right now is capacity. So Bounty Stalker has been nerfed a little. The Extinguish is now at 8 permanently rather than 10. Devourer of Death has become Wickless rather than Tomb. And then Forever Consumed, we got 2 copies there, their base. So he would have the ability to reform the Bounty Stalker, but I don't want to get more minions. Frankly, at this point, I'm done. Minions are over. Devourer of Death would be much more attractive if the morsels still counted as harvest triggers. I may go for none here, or the Forever Consume just for like a big nuke. I'm gonna go for Forever Consume just for big nuke. I'm fine, thanks. Alright. Is it draw? Because one of the most, like, energy is important for the reason that I have to get out 2 costs Overgorgers quite early. But the draw is really important so that I can get to my 0 costs in my Space Prisms and my Packed Morsels, which are the most, like, influential cards to get in my first cycle other than minions, as quickly as possible. Allied Construct didn't get nerfed? No, it seems like instead the option was making the other tanks, or another tank in particular in Umbra better to account for, you know, Allied Construct often being an insta-pick for that kind of a situation. I think it's draw. When in doubt, it's always draw. I mean, that's the refrain that I stick with, but I think it would be a fair critique of my playstyle that I take draw a little too often. Just a touch. Because I take it almost all of the time. Okay, so double removal is really appealing to me. The Umbra unit's not, though. I'm gonna go over here. Give me the advanced prototype. Let's go. Deals 5 damage to enemy units when a burnout unit dies. Is this going to trigger if I have reformed a morsel, and then the morsel gets eaten? Is this going to trigger? I've heard that their balancing doesn't have to do with what feels the most / least playable. It's directly based on what cards are the most / least used and chosen. Let's try to even that out, and I like that in concept. Yeah, it's a very data-driven approach to the balancing of things. That could work. You have enough capacity spells plus main champion. Yeah, no, I'm not going for the capacity gem. I'm probably going to go for the teeth of gold here, but I just want to know if the exploding candle is still going to trigger on morsels that have burnout being eaten, because this is an on-death trigger. I imagine this counts as like an extinguish, in fact. Exploding candle when any unit died for you, but do the morsels count as dying for the sake of this? Works if it has burnout. Okay. I'm still going for Teeth of Gold because it's way better, but I did want to clarify that. Get noticed, Exiled King. I recognize you from around, by the way. It's good to see you. I mean, this one's just, you know, get the extra space. One Horn Stone now applies Frailty, I think, which causes the unit to die if it loses health. Really? I thought it was just increased to 6 cost. Unit dies if it loses health. Oof. But does it count armor? But does it count armor as losing health? Does not count armor, HP only. Okay, so it's not on damage taken and so on. Okay, cool. That makes a lot more sense, because then as Hellhorn, you have ways to manipulate that rather than, you know, just like first enemy with spikes, first enemy with sweep, you lose the unit. Non-boss enemies gain multi-strike. Can we do this? Clipped Guardian's only going to be 10. Absolver's going to be 2. I want the artifact, frankly. I just want the artifact. If only there was some way to look up the card. I know, wild. We have too much energy worth of stuff to play on the first turn. Or do we? Maybe we don't care. Just like, pop him down. Get him. Do I want or need a draft? Or should I just get the first Shade Split here? Hey, Project Zenith. Good to see you. I always find myself being greedy for artifacts, especially when there are like so many artifacts at this point that will fundamentally change the game with Hive Mind. I gotta be. Is there a way to remove Fragile? Apparently it's not coded as a debuff, so I imagine not, but that is just a hearsay from what I saw earlier in chat. Here. Yeah, I think we're gonna need a little bit of extra help still to deal with... A little bit of extra help still to deal with specifically the Clipped Guardians. Okay. Drake goes there, molded for the draft. Do I want to Wicklash it, or do I want to get the Overgorger down on the next floor? I think Overgorger will do it. Been trying to catch a rap stream for a while in this council me. Good to see you, Impact Font. Or specifically Joe. I have a question about the card that eats a morsel X times. What's it called? The spike. I know the one you're referring to. The spike of the Umbra or something. Would that also trigger gold teeth X times? Yes. I can confirm that, having done it in the past. Alright. Let's get the extra space in here, please. No. That's not what I wanted. Lifesteal, thank you! Woo! Haha! Wait, hang on. Is this still not good enough, though? We might have to sack a unit in front of the Overgorger next turn. May have to. Is it just me, or is the audio kind of off? I don't know. Is it just you? If anyone else is experiencing some offness of the audio, I would like to know, because that's something that I can try and adjust on my end. Just that person. If it's off, trying turning up the volume, fine to me. Okay. It's alright. It seems like it is you, Una. Alright. Let's go for a Shade Splitter. Pop that on the bottom floor as well. Then I... Train Stewards. Wait. Then Drag. Great. And we heal all back up. And we get another lifesteal! Oh, that's exactly what we needed right there. Also, just gonna throw out the Prism Retrieval. It's not bad for a top floor. Not bad at all. Alright. So let's just stack up on more lifesteal, I think, here. Neat. Although maybe I should have gone for a draft and then double Wicklashed. Yeah, I should have gone draft and double Wicklashed it there. They also nerfed Cycle of Life for some reason. This is real powerful. Is this your first run with the new content, Raps, or have you tested it out already? So I tested it out a little off camera before I recorded my first video that went live on YouTube a couple days ago. Since then, I haven't been feeling so great, so I haven't recorded another one since. But I have had a little bit of experience with this already. This is my first experience with it being like publicly shipped though, right? I was playing on the public beta branch beforehand though. Lifesteal seems like it's just always better than Damage Shield. Not true, but I agree that Lifesteal is in general better. The case where it's not specifically true is where the enemy is doing a large single hit's worth of damage, but not that many enemies in this game do that. Also, no, wait, no, it's not also good against buff Purge. No? Never mind. It does seem like there are two ways of accomplishing similar things, and one of them accomplishes it a little bit better. I think that's I think that previously it was thought that it was the other way around, and that's why the Crucible Warden had 10 health, and then the Crucible Collector, that is the Lifesteal one, had 20 health. Alright. Let's pop something down. Just so you know, Hive Mind means Morsel Master dupes all... Huh. Alright, let's get one of those. That sounds good. That sounds really, really not okay. Let's go do that. I've turned down 2 of them so far in this run already, though. Starting to feel a little guilty about that. Alright. Morsel units get 1 damage shield. All units get 1 damage shield. Perfect. Fine, thanks. I'm okay. I'll be okay. It's fine. No thanks. Seraph the Chase is going to be cleansing units of effects that do not benefit the Seraph. Reduce the spikes applied by exactly 1 on Cycle of Life. I honestly don't think that's that huge of an issue. It still kills Lightwings with only 1 application. And like Lightwings all the way up until Covenant 25 with only 1 application. Maybe Wretch brings back all units then? Wait, the previous, wait, no. Because Wretch is only the ones that are being eaten. And non-morsels can't be eaten. Like, as in, they don't have the ability to be eaten because there's no non-morsels on the field to eat them. Yeah, Engulfed in Smoke is a little bit more expensive. That's had to happen for a long time. I don't know. I don't think we take anything here either. I think we're, like, done. How are morsels being eaten at all? I don't know! I have no clue. I think that might be like an edge case they had to work around with the Hive Mind. Because morsels do specifically say on them, are eaten by the front non-morsel unit. And we have no front non-morsel units. Morsel eating still works properly, which I found odd. It seems a little odd. But, you know, it seems necessary. Because it would have been weird if I started this daily and then I was like, and then eat this morsel. Wait, you can't eat morsels? We lose. Like... I think that's just an adjustment made for the sake of playability, effectively. Give everything 30 health and 1 burnout? I'm fine, thanks. But Fossilized Fangs is ridiculous. We're only in floor 5, so we can still grow the Overgorgers pretty significantly. I like it. Gain 5 when a tomb unit dies, so now any unit will give me 5 energy. What modifiers do we have on? We have the Hive Mind, friendly units count as all subtypes. We have Levity, enemy units gain haste. and also 2 for 1 each time you draft a card, gain a second copy. You know the sad thing about this? That still might be correct. Because after the first turn, what does the extra energy do for me? I mean, I guess I had 2 extras in the day. But my units don't die. If only Morsel still... Yeah, if Morsel still died, this modifier, this encased, and this run... Oh, would be nutty. They despawn instead of dying, though. Let's do it. I think we also might take the opportunity now to remove 1 card, unless the next area also has a... Yeah, the next area doesn't have a merchant of trinkets in particular. So I'm going to be going over here to go for the Hersel's Horde, and then I'm going to be hell-venting probably the double buffed, triple buffed, mega buffed Overgorger. Yeah. So I have a while since until I need to spend my next amount of money, so I'm just going to remove a garbage card from the deck. Alright. Non-boss enemies enter with spikes 4. Is that okay? Or is that really not okay? I mean, I guess it really depends how early we get out the life steals. How long are you streaming? Another hour and 15 minutes. So I'll probably be completing this run, and then depends on how much time there is left. Either I'll do a Hell Rush with some modifiers, or I'll do a custom challenge with some modifiers. But it's all going to be, you know, runs that can also be played by the community. The thing is, most of the interesting effects of Hive Mind are in Umbra and Remnant. Perfect classes to be then. Any thoughts on Retribution, y'all? I think you're fine. It's okay. Really? But I have double strike as well, so I'm taking 8 damage to it per turn, though. Double strike is a lot. It's doubling the amount of damage you take to the spikes each turn. I can't do it. I can't do it. Wait a second. If you have Hive Mind, can you use Important Work and Important Sacrifice and Implosion? Do those count every unit in your deck as an imp? So, like, if your deck has 10 cards, Implosion is 150 damage for 1 energy every time? Okay. Does Eater of Crowns count everything as an imp? It would. It would, Epsilon. Okay, so not only is this good in in Umbra and Melting Remnant, but it's also really good in Hellhorn. Alright. Maybe we drop down a Crucial Warden. Get it out of the deck. I like it. Important does work. Impalate doesn't. Huh. That's strange. Dev said on Reddit today they're working to make it so you can still climb the Covenants with the Googly Eye mutator. I did see that mutator and I smiled a lot. It's that's very much a fan service one in the best possible way. Would Consumer of Crowns count everything as an imp? That's what I'm thinking it would do, yes. I can't tell you for certain, but all indications appear to be that that would be the case. Okay. That should split. Nothing to reform yet, but I probably do want to start building draft. Okay. And then the rest of the two are going to start chunking down the Clipped Guardian. I'm probably going to need to also use a Forever Consumed. How would Impsicle work? No, I think Impsicle would still just give you imps, like imp types. Because they're not friendly units until you have them. Maybe that's not a good way to explain it. I imagine it would still just give you imps, though. Oh, right, my units died. What died? Oh, it only would have been one unit? It's a drag. Drag somewhere died. Got it. Okay. Let's get back our first draft, and you know what? I'm actually going to pop you on the bottom floor. I'm going to give you a Whiplash 2. The sequel to Whiplash. Is there a spell version of Hive Mind? Because Sting stuff would get out of hand. So, for all things to count as Stings, and Stings to count as all other things, I don't think there is, but that would be wild. Interestingly enough, all units... all units are type Dante now. Perfect. Can I see the Dante-ness? No? Shroud, 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 Champion, Waxer. Doesn't show it on there. Are we going to see any game breaking using the Googly Eye modifier? Does it do anything non-gameplay related? Sorry, gameplay related rather, cosmetically related. There we go. That's what I was looking for. There we go. We got the X-Scab. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Life makes sense again. I want to see good with this. I do want to see it as well, but unfortunately, because we're not playing Hellhorned, it literally can't show up. Extremely unfortunate, but that's just the case. Okay. Yeah, let's Prism Retrieval for a giant Overgorger. There we go. We finally made this Overgorger big and useful. Does Mask of Penumbra now draw one when you play any unit? Yeah, I imagine it would. Because all of my units are being counted as morsels for the sake of the winged technology. I can't imagine they wouldn't be counted as that for the sake of the other relic. Sorry for raising the alarm about the audio earlier. Turns out Twitch's encoding for smart TVs is just broken at the moment. That's okay. It's totally fine. I don't mind. It's just it's something that I need to make sure that I address if it is the case that that was a problem. I'm expecting a heavy nerf to Googly Eyes myself. What? I'm being joked with. I'm being joked with. I see now. Yeah, let's go for the lifesteal again. I like this whole draft thing. I wish I'd gone for the draft that had the multi-strike on it, but I do like how this whole draft thing is going out right now. Let's go for a damage shield? No, that literally didn't matter at all. I don't know why I did that. Pass. Uh-oh! Whoopsie doopsie, this is not looking good. That's a capital P problem right there. Don't love this. 13 Ember though. 13 Ember though, but the frontline unit is blocked. Oh god, no. Bring you back as a single hit tank unit. There we go. Then you for the same case. We can do this. It'll be fine. It's just not great, but it'll be okay. Draw Forever Consumed right now. Thank you, Encased Ember. All right. Gem Trove. Although, 2 engine upgrades at the same time, I can just dedicate a floor to being, this is the energy floor. Effectively, 2 engine upgrades, I'm creating an Ember Forge that can't be destroyed. Boss is a morsel, eat him. We did. Will Cannibalize just give 3 random units? I don't believe that'll be the case, no. I'm almost certain that won't be the case. What are we thinking? I could actually go like any way here pretty happily. The Gem Trove is a little rough because energy cost, but we could pick up an energy relic. In fact, we'll probably pick up an energy relic next. Get rid of the 2nd floor entirely with the engine upgrade. You aren't using it anyway. Yeah, that means that we free up like the other to be for what? Maybe we use this engine upgrade specifically just to make the forever consumes ridiculous. Do you really have any energy issues? I have them, but the thing is the energy issues I have are in the start of the fight before we would have the engine upgrade set up. So what if we go for Cannibalize instead now? Because the time we need engine upgrade in play is when it won't be in play yet. And then when it's in play, we don't really need it anymore. So why don't we just go for Cannibalize in order to get more what? But we don't, do we need more minions? We're not really feeding the 2nd Overgorger. That's just not happening. But sometimes I might want to kill my own units so that I can reform them. Alright. Let's see how that goes. Wickless Recruitment. Remove all burnout and debuff effects from a unit that's voter free with the Endless Damage Shield. Extinguish draw 1. Hey, it's 0 cost as well. And it's also a tomb unit? This is 5 energy every turn. And then eventually it's 10 energy every turn. The only thing is I need somewhere that it also actually blocks a bunch of damage. The only thing is I need somewhere I can play it. And because it'll be in the front line, if it only takes 1 hit, it will gorge. It will eat my units. It's probably a hard pass. That's interesting though. Damage shield. Yeah, it could stay alive through 1 enemy hitting it, right? So then it ends up gorging. Cards with consume have a 50% chance to be discarded instead. That's actually pretty relevant. We've got 2 packed morsels as well as 2 space prisms in the deck that could be useful. And then there's also a prism retrieval, which is just also there. But coming in with 2 lifesteal, I think makes it really, really easy for me to set up my my Overgorgers a lot more happily, rather. And then we get a second of the good one. Go onwards. A fasting card that enhances a unit to not eat morsels could be really interesting. It could be, because that would give you the ability to put, like, you know, anything that gorges, but you don't want it to be in the front line. For instance, an Overgorger. Or an alloyed construct, even, in the second line. Although, gosh, how much space would you really need? You need a lot of capacity to do that, but, you know, if you're going to be doing that as anyone, it's going to be Umbra, and Umbra has capacity. It's part of their whole core thing. Alright. Well, I know what we do here. We go Penumbra, and we go Overgorger, right? And it is fine. Everything's already conquered on this floor. But now what we do is drag, and we cannibalize the drag, and we get a bunch of energy back, and then we put the Overgorger on the second floor. Use it to buff a Tethys with hiding behind a tank. I mean, that's a very common situation. That'd work really well. I'm gonna destroy the health Tethys, though. The health morsel. Oh, it's so good. It's working out so well. Alright. Let's, like, nuke this top floor. Yeah? No? This one? Yeah. Because the bottom floor is already completely removed. Okay, so we have a second Overgorger right now. A space prism we have to play on this floor, but like... Second Overgorger. Do we put both Overgorgers on the same floor? Do we split them out and then try and feed both of them? All of them? We have three. This one, we need to cut a lot of units from this deck. Like, so many units. We just want to be guaranteed the Overgorger draw on turn 1 for a good Overgorger. The thing is, I think if I put the extra Overgorger on the bottom floor, I might be able to kill the Fel real quick. Hey, Skeeve, good to see you, bud. The modifiers for this daily challenge are Hive Mind, friendly units count as all subtypes, Levity, enemy units get haste, and 2 for 1 each time you draw a card, gain a second copy. Ooh, 240 damage on that forever consumed if we want it. And we might want it. Right, get him. Get him, got him good. Alright, now, Fel, if you'd just like to come down to the bottom here, please. A little bit more commonly would be super helpful. I mean, we're getting real close to that early Fel kill. God, if only we could just kill this frontliner. I mean, well, not the frontliner, have the frontliner killed so then I can use the forever consumed on the backline a bit. Let's see what we can do here. Because, like, I can bring back another 45... We may have this. One sec. Excess damage, excess damage, excess damage. I'll go for this just in case. Close. Left him on the perfect amount of health, though. Alright. Let's get the Shade Splits out as well. On the floor. Start on the next 2. And then, yeah, Wicklash you. Double if I could. Alright. Yeah. I'm not going to even stay in the fight just to try and consume more. Instead, I'm going to take my 4-turn boss rush and get a little bit extra on score. Shroud Mitosis. Shroud Mitosis lets you exceed the capacity on a floor, but it doesn't allow you to exceed the unit limit. And we're already hitting capacity on the bottom floor. Thank you, Cheswick. You absolute brain genius, you. That card copies everything. Because everything's a morsel unit. Alright. Well, now it's just draw. We just pop down Overgorger. Triplicate Overgorger. Wait. The big things that we need to do right now are going to be removals. Just hard removals. Get that Overgorger out of here. What are you doing? Get that Crucible Warden out of here. What are you doing? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's reduce the cost on that Shroud Mitosis as well. I kind of want to double remove. Like, I want this Crucible Warden out of the deck. so that I don't draw it in the first turn. I might save the other 10, the other 100 rather here, so that I can look at the merchant. If you dupe the Overgorger, does it matter which of it dupes its morsels? Sorry, if you dupe the Overgorger, does it matter which of its dupes it's the morsels when it comes to getting enhanced? I'm not sure I'm passing that question correctly, Epsilon. Two of them should be cardless. Right. Yes. Yeah. The one that you target stays in front, I believe. I believe that's how it works, and it projects them backwards from you. I mean, we're gonna do it. This is your chance to get unlimited train stewards. But what if I did this instead? It's so good. Can I set up on the bottom floor first turn here? Let's sack the train steward on the bottom floor here as well. Ouch. And that's just for the 5 energy we get next turn. We're about to take a lot of damage to that Gilded Wing. I don't like it. I don't like it any more than you do, but it's happening. So let's make peace with it. God. Can you please stop giving me all the cannibalizers right now? And if you're gonna give me cannibalizers, could you give me good ones? This would have been such a good hand for Forever Consumed. We just blow up the enemy. Oh. I'm almost sad about how good of a hand it would have been for that. Alright, Shade Split. And sure. I mean... Ow? Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have increased this one. Wait, hang on. We're gonna get 3 more Overgorgers, right? So it's a total of 5 on that floor, so I can actually put 2 things down. Yeah, I'd say it works pretty well. Nice. I just can't wait for the boss to spawn. Oh man, we're starting to run out of Overgorgers. We should probably... Let's start building this Overgorger a little bit more still, just in case. Imagine if they also had quick. Oh my god. Would be utterly ridiculous. Get him! One attack for you. We could put Furnace Tap on the Overgorger and then target it, right? Because the applied Rage and Multi-Strike would dupe. But then also we have no energy ever from then on out. Do we need energy from then on out? Like, because we just play Shroud Mitosis every turn past that point. X-Cost cards? Yeah, but this is an X-Cost card that doesn't really achieve anything for me. In my first hand, I draw my Penumbra and I draw my Overgorger. In my second hand, I draw my second Overgorger. And then the only things past that the Prism Retrieval can hit are Train Steward, Train Steward, Train Steward, or Drag. Or Draft. And those are extremely not interesting units to hit. And even if I do use the Prism Retrieval, I don't really need any health. I don't really need any help from it. Like, it'll spend all of our energy in order to draw a card that we might not want to use at that point in time. I'm gonna take the money. I'm gonna take the money. I think I'm now just looking for artifacts. I think artifacts is how this gets more run. This run gets more nutty, rather. But is the draw rigged to draw a unit in the second hand? So the draw works like this. There are things that exist that are called banner units and things that exist that are not banner units. For example, a draft is not a banner unit. It gets offered to you alongside spells. So do imps, certain tombs, certain channelers, all get offered to you when you are usually drafting a spell. However, if it's a minion draft exclusively, right, a unit draft exclusively, those units are guaranteed to appear until there are none left in your deck, which is to say that if you have any of them left in your deck and you start a turn, you will draw it. All right. Spells gain an extra upgrade slot. I was really hoping I was going to get minions gain an extra upgrade slot here. Unfortunate. Let's reroll. Extinguish abilities trigger an additional time. Do you think that works on the Encased Ember? This only applies until your deck reshuffles? Yes, thank you. Like, Hell's Banners is just more energy for us. Let's look at the other shop first. It's not an extinguish. Okay. And then just remove train suits, I guess. Molded Braces gives them all an extinguish ability specifically. Yes, that one says friendly units gain extinguish, give the front friendly unit 5 armor. Yeah, I was just wondering whether this was like written in a different way but had the same kind of like applies an extinguish effect, but it doesn't. It's good to see. All right, well, we don't really have anything we can do in here either because we don't have any minions that we really want to upgrade at this point. So I might actually just like, I think I'll take this just in case I get too many units in my opening hand. And I need extra energy for my opening hand, but on that, we'll be fine. All right. Oh, that's a Shower Mitosis on turn 1. It's over for you nerds. It's done. Get him. Got him. Good. Money, so much money from morsels. For the 5 when a friendly unit dies, I don't think that would work. Because they don't die anymore, right? They get despawned. Sweet. Sure. Come on, Seraph. There you go. It's working real well, I'd say. I'd even cannibalize your champ. He's just worse than Overgorger, right? Yeah, 100%. I'll set up to do that for the next turn. Good point. Well made. Or, alternatively, I'm just gonna win. Eight turn boss rush. It's a good one. This has been a run. I could not agree more, Cheswick. The message in chat, by the way, was, I love this game so much. Also, I almost feel sorry for Seraph. If the Seraph hadn't kicked my butt up and down the street so many times before, I would feel sorry for it. But at this point, I'm afraid that I am incapable of feeling empathy for the Seraph. The Seraph has exhausted my ability to do that for it. Okay, so we have now 47 more minutes. So we could go for a little bit of a faster custom challenge, or we could go for a Hell Rush. But then if we do a Hell Rush, we have like 15 minutes left afterwards as well. I love any game that lets you feel like you broke it. Yep. Rito and I actually talk, I don't know if anyone's necessarily familiar, but I will say that Rito is a person with whom I work constantly. He's a colleague and a friend of mine. Rito and I were talking about that in particular for roguelikes broadly, which is that a lot of roguelike developers will put things in the game that let you feel like a genius for discovering them, but they were totally intentional. And sometimes it's not intentional, but you still feel like a genius for discovering them, and the tools in order to create that zaniness was left in the game by the developers intentionally. I want to see Abyss and Hellhorned with Hivemind. I like that. I like that. Super neat modifiers. All right, let's go for it. 66. We'll eventually our daily runs will be better. I don't really focus on score in my daily runs much at all. I kind of just focus on trying to make them nutty as heck.